We proceed. Question 8 has been asked by the Honorable KRJ Meshoe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The World Health Assembly agreed at the special session, which was held on the 29th to the 1st of December 2021, to start a process of developing and negotiating a treaty on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. To this end, an intergovernmental negotiating body was set up to lead the negotiation and drafting of the treaty, in consultation with various stakeholders, including member states and civil society organizations. Drawing on the lessons that we have learned from responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, the proposed global pandemic treaty will complement the international health regulations. To this end, the agreement will seek to outline the objectives and fundamental principles necessary for effective collective action to fight against pandemic, address gaps in the current legal framework, and clarify roles and responsibility of states and international organizations, among others. It is envisaged that this global treaty will, among others, enhance surveillance of pandemic risk and alerts, ensure uninterrupted health supplies and services, and effective research and innovation for timely development of vaccines, treatment, and diagnostics, ensure better response mechanisms and implementation, as well as restore trust in the international health system. Currently, the Intergovernmental Negotiating Body is conducting consultation with stakeholders to produce a working draft of the treaty, which is due to be considered at its meeting later this year. The 76th session of the World Health Assembly in 2023 will receive a progress report on the draft treaty, with the plan for the treaty to be adopted in 2024. For South Africa, it is crucial that the treaty is anchored on human rights to ensure equitable access to various available medical solutions in order to improve the health and well-being of all our people, irregardless of their social standing and their geographical location. When it comes to international agreements, Section 231, subsection 1 of the Constitution is clear that the negotiation and signing of all international agreements is the responsibility of the national executive. Parliament will have a role in the ratification of the treaty once concluded. As international agreements become law after being approved by a resolution in both the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. This means that international agreements become national law only upon ratification by Parliament. Therefore, in this regard, it goes without saying that the Minister of Health is enjoined by the Constitution to submit the treaty to Parliament for consideration and approval. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The first supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable KRJ Meshoe from the Chamber.
Thank you, Speaker and Deputy President. Public participation in lawmaking and agreements to any laws which are to be binding to citizens is a fundamental tenet of constitutional democracy that should never be ignored. Any law affecting a country and the right of citizens to self-determination should be subjected to public scrutiny and participation, as well as parliamentary debates, if constitutional democracy is to be preserved. The ACDP is grateful to the 47 African countries led by Botswana that refused to sign the amendments to the international health regulations this past week at the World Health Assembly in Geneva. My question to you, Deputy President, is whether after public participation, where opinions of citizens would have been solicited, you will ensure that a clear mandate is obtained from the National Assembly and given to the Health Minister and his officials not to sign the proposed amendments to the international health regulations, which, among others, would give additional powers to the World Health
Honorable
Organization.
Meshoe, your question, please, to the Deputy President. Question, please.
Yeah. I'm reading the question now, Speaker.
Yes, proceed.
I said, my question to the Deputy President is whether after public participation where opinions of citizens would have been solicited, he will ensure that a clear mandate is obtained from the National Assembly and given to the Health Minister and his officials not to sign the proposed amendment to the international health regulations, which among others would give additional powers to the World Health Organization to unilaterally decide to impose decisions on nations of the world, thereby undermining their sovereignty.
Thank you very much, Honorable Meshoe.
Thank you.
The Honorable, the Deputy President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I've answered the question. Honorable Meshoe, I said, the Minister of Health is enjoined by the Constitution. After all the consultation, the negotiations with stakeholders, to finally bring that report to Parliament for consideration and approval. So Parliament will have an opportunity to deliberate on the report, on the proposed treaty, and make amendments where necessary before it becomes law. That's what I said.